So welcome back everyone to the Gamer's Edge podcast with me, Lee, joined with my co-host Darius, and this is episode 2. Right, so episode 2, we're going to have a really good episode for you all today, and I'm sure this is going to go down real well. Just before we get into that though, mate, we've got 1 day left until
mate.
Black Ops 6. 1 day.
Mate,
Honestly,
the excitement.
This is a painful wait, honestly, so much.
The excitement's real, honestly. Like, knowing that I have to go to work and wait for this game is like, it's killing me. It's killing me, mate.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, it's a long
day.
day. Yeah, it's a very long day. It's just like, I honestly just can't wait to get my hands on it and just like give it a go and start. Like, honestly.
But we do have like a really sort of like really controversial topic to talk about today, but I just wanted to quickly touch upon like the marketing for this game, by the way. Like,
Unbelievable.
absolutely insane. They put some money into this.
I seen a tweet earlier saying that they've had more production value and more budget than what top Hollywood films have, which is mental.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's crazy to think about.
To be fair, when you think about it though, with the amount of money that Call of Duty makes and stuff, then it sort of deserves that budget. Like, we haven't seen marketing like this for a game since probably the last time the Replacer was doing intros for the game for us and stuff like that. So it's been nice to see. I think it's made the excitement for this game bigger than putting this much money into marketing, because literally this week we have just been spammed with Replacer memes, free XP tokens, like as if we're voting for Replacer to be the president of the United States. Yeah, it's like, it's crazy marketing, but it's for sure worked. It's got me more excited for the game, even though I was obviously massively excited anyway. But yeah, it's crazy, man. I honestly can't wait to just get my hand on it and just see how this year goes.
Honestly, I think the excitement makes me sort of like, it reminds me of when we used to do like midnight launch, getting that level of excitement. I just can't remember the last time that I think everyone was universally this excited for a Black Ops, and it's clearly down to the market. And the marketing team is just, I think it surprised us all. Like,
yeah, literally,
it doesn't surprise me the amount of money that's gone into it, and really pushed out all the stops.
It's like you've got all these like content creators going on a trip to New Zealand or holiday just to go on Call of Duty, and it's like, people don't do that for a game unless they're really excited for it. No matter what, you would just wait the extra day if you weren't that excited. So
absolutely,
it's a risky one going to New Zealand to play COD, but I think
it's not something I'm doing now. I won't be
doing
that.
I don't think I'm gonna be. I think I can wait a day. I don't think people will be too far ahead. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So
just one quick question before we get into the episode today. Do you think Black Ops 6 outsells every single Call of Duty game that's ever been?
So without researching other COD sales, I think it's
numbers.
I think it's definitely gonna be up there in the top 4 at least. Maybe might even pinch a top 3 spot for more sales. I think if the marketing,
top 1, number 1.
Yeah, I think if the marketing doesn't generate more sales for them, I think they've missed the mark. But the marketing's been that good that I think it will have generated a lot more sales for them, because it's just literally like, when you think of the Replacer, you think like prime time, like Black Ops 2, all the marketing run up to that, and it just brought me back to like this state where I feel like I'm 13 again, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to finish school and get to the next COD. Whereas now it's like, I can't wait to finish work and play the next COD. But yeah, just like,
it's a different time, isn't it? But bro hasn't even aged, the Replacer. Literally,
no,
guy's
exactly the same, man. Honestly, but I don't even know what his real name is. All I know is he's called John Abruzzi from Prison Break. That's all I know him as. But the guy's a legend. Even still, the guy.
But honestly, like, I think with the money that they put into marketing, I think they wouldn't have put the money in if they didn't think it was going to be like the best-selling Call of Duty game of all time. I don't think it's like the worst case scenario if it doesn't end up achieving that. But there's no in the world. I honestly, I think it takes.
I think this game as well will probably do a lot of sales after launch, when people are realizing how good the game is, which is what we think it's going to be. I feel like
after Game Pass as well, and all that.
Game Pass, that has to count for something, because I worked it out today, just in my head. Like, if you've got Game Pass for 6 months and you've played Call of Duty for the whole 6 months, you've overpaid for the game, and therefore, obviously, Microsoft are making a killing from the Game Pass, which is always a good thing as well.
Honestly, exciting times. Like, roll on tomorrow. But without further ado, subject today is going to be skill-based matchmaking and
Oh,
two boxing. Yeah,
ooh.
we
The
we
worst
yeah we have
subjects to
to talk.
talk
We
about.
have to. We
We
have to.
do,
It's
we
just
do.
matter of time. I think it's good for us to get this one out of the way now, ahead
Yeah.
of the new launch as well. Just kind of talk about it. There's been so many comments on the internet around like mixed feelings around two boxing,
Yeah.
skill-based matchmaking, what it's doing to the franchise. So let's kind of talk about like skill-based matchmaking throughout the years. So obviously between ourselves, we've got it's probably quite close to 40 years worth of COD experience like,
Yeah, it's not
between the
far off,
two
is
of
it?
us. I know I've played it for about 17 years at least. You've played
Yeah.
it for probably about the same, if not more.
Yeah, literally.
I guess we knew that skill-based matchmaking was kind of looser back in the day.
Yeah.
But I feel like we talk more about skill-based matchmaking now because we know it exists.
Yeah.
So for me, like we always knew like skill-based matchmaking it started back in 2007. It's kind of progressively getting worse, if you like, or more strict throughout the years. But we kind of like lived in ignorance. So we might have all felt that it was there, but we weren't really aware of it, and we didn't really raise any questions.
Yeah.
So I guess the first question would be, do you think us realizing that skill-based matchmaking exists is the fundamental reason why there is this divide? Because if we didn't know about it, would we have really noticed it, and would we have talked about it as much?
I think it is, and I'll give you a couple. I'll give you one. The main reason why I think it is, I think it's another thing to blame your sort of being bad at Call of Duty on. Like if you've had a bad game, or it was because of skill-based matchmaking, or you didn't perform well in the game you wanted to. Yeah, it's because of the skill-based matchmaking. So I couldn't. I feel like it's an easy excuse to use. It's like FIFA's scripting the game against me because you've lost. It's just an easy excuse to use, I think now, and I think obviously with the exploiting we've had over the years of skill-based matchmaking, it's made the conversation and it's divided the community on it massively. Like I'm not a massive disliker of skill-based matchmaking. I don't mind it. I feel like it's there for a reason. It's to protect the players that can't sink as much time in as me and you and the rest of the community can. Like there's some people who can literally only play like an hour, 2 hours a night, and it's just like it'd be unfair for them to just jump in the game with Scump and Zinni and all those guys. That's what the skill-based matchmaking's there to protect. I don't know what your thoughts are on it personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a case of like ignorance is bliss, and I just think that we're aware that it's been in there since 2007. But if you cast your mind back, you weren't even aware of it.
No.
You weren't even thinking about it. I think it's like as soon as puts that topic of conversation on the table, you're immediately going to start talking about it. And I just feel like if we didn't know about it, we would never have realized or wouldn't have talked about it to this extent.
Yeah.
I do agree with you that I do think that skill-based matchmaking has its place. I do think it's there to protect players. I suppose there is an argument for should skill-based matchmaking be in ranked only, but the one thing I keep on going back to is that skill-based matchmaking is not the be-all and end-all of the success of a franchise, and that's proven from X Defined. You know yourself, obviously, we tweeted out before. Mark Rubin actually got back in touch and said skill-based matchmaking, not only is it not in casual games, but technically speaking, it's not in their ranked either.
Yeah.
So if people were aware of that, then why is X Defined like fell flat on its face? So clearly
that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not the main thing that will drive sales, and it's for that reason why I don't feel like it's fundamentally killing the COD franchise.
Yeah.
There's so many other things that are more important than skill-based matchmaking. For me, it doesn't even crack the top 50 things that I'm most concerned about when it comes to a new COD.
That's it. So for me personally as well, it's like Call of Duty is a competitive game from the get-go, whether you're playing in a casual game mode, a public game mode, or ranked. Like, aim of the game is to win the match. Like, that's the whole aim of it. So, pardon me, it is a competitive game just down to a T. It's like, I always compare it like to FIFA wise as well. It's like, I play my FIFA games. You don't play a game of football to lose, you play it to win. You know what I mean? That's just the competitive nature of game. It's also the sort of competitive nature of war, which is what Call of Duty is based on. It's like, you don't start a war to lose it, you start it to win it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what Call of Duty is based on. At the end of the day, it's based on war. That's where the game comes from. I just feel like as well. People saying I can't just come on the game and chill. You can't just come on the game and chill because at some point in the cycle of Call of Duty, you've tried hard and you've put yourself in these lobbies. So it's like, I feel like just people want everything to be easy and don't want to try anything anymore. People just want the easiest games to have the most kills, and it's not like that. It's just not like that anymore. It's never been like that.
We've become a little bit self-entitled, haven't we? I think as players have gotten the skill level, I think, is naturally kind of just increased. And I think with that, players have gotten more arrogant, thinking that I belong. I know I'm a good player, and if they get beat in a game, then they've got something else to blame. I do agree with what you're saying. I think we're very, very quick to blame things if they're not working.
That's fair as well. I feel like
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better about losing the game, then do it. Blame skill-based matchmaking, but don't just jump on Twitter and start spouting your opinion because it's not your own opinion. The majority of these people who are saying about skill-based matchmaking being a bad thing, which I don't think it is majority of it's from streamers. They're just saying what their favourite streamer says. I've seen a few comments on like our Twitter page saying, "Why don't you have your own opinion?" It's like, this is our own opinion, and we'll die on the hill of we think skill-based matchmaking is a good thing. Like, I don't see the problem with it. Like, you don't see Scump and all them moaning about skill-based matchmaking, do you? I know they're pro players and stuff, but they're not sat there going, "Oh, this game was a bit sweaty." Like, they know it's going to be. They can't help it.
I just think that you learn more and you develop more as a player if you're up against, the same or better competition. I think if you're, let's say, a 2 KD player and you're going up against a 0.3 KD player, where you're improving exactly? You know what I mean, you're obviously going to slam that player. So what are you benefiting? It might look for a really nice piece of content where you can run around circles and then assassinate him or do whatever you want to do to him, or use him as a meat shield when it comes to Black Ops 6. But ultimately, you were always meant to win that fight, so you're not really getting any better. You're not improving. You're just making that other player's life a misery. But ultimately, people don't care. People only really care about the game and how it plays for them and their own enjoyment. They're not really bothered with who they have to kind of like just dump on just in order to get there. Like, you've got to think about the people at the bottom line.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if the average KD in Call of Duty is like, say, 1, then the vast majority of the player base they're in that bracket. So if you're like a 2, 3 KD, you should be playing against people that skill. If you're that good, then you should be playing
You're
against
above
people
average.
Like that. If you don't want to do that, then what does that really say about you as a person? Like, if your only way to have fun in a game of Call of Duty, which, like you just said as well, is naturally competitive because it's one team versus another team, someone has to win that match, someone has to lose that match. So naturally, that makes it competitive by default. So if your only way to get enjoyment from this game is to play against people who are a lot less skilled than you, then you probably need to find a different game.
Yeah.
This is the way the Call of Duty is now, and it has been for years.
I've just been thinking, like, why I've been speaking to me there as well. Like, people say, like, "Oh, I work 12-hour shifts. I come home, I get like 2 hours on COD. I don't want to be playing Demon." It's just like, you're only playing Demons because you're probably one yourself. So you working 12-hour shifts, you shouldn't be able to then go and shit on a load of players who have got like a 0.6 KD just because you're at work all day. They're at work all day too. They're doing stuff all day. They might have kids they're looking after all day and stuff like that. They don't want to get on and have to play people like you just because you don't want to play people like of your skill level. It's like everyone's protected in that way because you're protected because you're playing people in similar skill level to you, and the people who are lower than you are playing people the same level as them. I've just this narrative of I need easy games because I'm at work all day is stupid.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Your skill is clearly higher.
Yeah.
Sorry that your skill's high. I'm sorry you're good at COD, but you're good at COD. Get over it. That's the end of. You're decent at it. You need to play the people.
I think it's like, you're right in what you say. I think if people literally have to complain and say, "Well, I don't want to play these like COD pros and things like," well, the thing you're missing there is that because skill-based matchmaking matches you up with people of similar skill, then you're basically saying you're a COD pro.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just. It's not like you're a 1.
Well, I'm sorry if
against 5 KD players. It's not the way skill-based matchmaking works.
If you jump in a 6-man and you come up against Scump and Nade Shot, Zinni, Hex, all these guys, that's because you're a really good COD player. Actually, take it as a compliment. Yeah. You're good at COD.
Like, you should be there. You should be
you
there.
Should be there. If your skill-based matchmaking is doing you that well, then you should be thankful that you're actually that good at COD, because some people wish for that COD skill and they never get it.
Yeah, I think it's just it'd be interesting to find out the people who complain about skill-based matchmaking and when their first COD was, because not to sound like an absolute old man, but back in the day, we just played Call of Duty. We played the game that was put in front of us. We never complained.
Yeah.
We never mourned. We just sat down. We got in from school. We just played it.
Yeah.
We just played it. It didn't matter if the game worked for us or it didn't work for us. We just played it. Now, obviously, social media is a lot different now. It's a hell of a lot different. And I think, like, especially in the Call of Duty scene, like social media is skyrocketed since Modern Warfare 2019 when a lot of these new creators sort of made a massive name for themselves and narratives got spun, and between all of them they've got millions upon millions of followers. And it's almost like too much like hard work to have your own opinion, so it's easier to go along with the same opinion as your favorite creator and they'll do the job for you, because it's kind of a case of you either go along with them or you risk getting absolute ostracized because your opinion is different.
Yeah, literally.
Like, so no one dare say anything against what the most popular opinion is at that time.
Yeah, but it's easy to just jump in, isn't it?
We're actual true gamers.
Yeah,
this is us. So if something's worth arguing, we'll argue against it.
Yeah.
And we've got enough COD experience between us to sort of have a valid opinion on that.
Well, and we'll probably get flamed for me mentioning this, but look how much we got flamed for how much we like Modern Warfare 2. Like, God, if I go on my old Twitter account now and look at all the shade that got flung at us because we used to like a game, it's crazy. Like, we'll tell you if Black Ops 6 is garbage, we'll tell you it's garbage. Obviously, it's not going to be. I mean, the beta alone proves that.
Not a chance.
But if it is, we'll tell you, and that's it. But we're not going to sit here and lie and say, yeah, Black Ops 6 is really good. No, it's not. If it's not, it isn't, and we'll tell you that. I feel like people choose the easy way out when it comes to opinions, and it's easy to shut your opinion somewhere when you know a massive group of people is going to accept it. But actually, really, you should be saying how you feel. Like, no one can, no matter what someone says to you on Twitter, right? They're literally nobody's in your life. You do what you want to do. If you like a game, play it. If you don't play it. Or if you want to still play it, have your own opinions on it. You don't need to follow a crowd to be validated. If anything, people would respect you more for spouting your own opinion instead of just copying what Joe says. You know what I mean? So,
don't get me wrong, a lot of their opinions, like some of their opinions, they can be right on, and some of them are valid. But I think with like certain ones that are really controversial, like two boxing, for example, you might have a creator that is like quite openly two boxing.
Well, speaking of Joe,
yeah. But these creators are, because they've got like a massive following. It's like monkey see, monkey do. Like, as soon as they start doing it, then other people just jump on that bandwagon as well. And you don't actually realize, but the more people doing things like two boxing, trying to break skill-based matchmaking, any means necessary, they're fundamentally damaging the game as well, in a way. Like, so the very thing that they're trying to fight against, they're actually making things worse. They're not actually fixing anything.
Because let's remember that, and I'm pretty sure some of the game companies have said this, the casual player base is the majority of the player base as well. So all the hardcore players, you make up a small percentage of the game. I would probably say I'm a hardcore COD player. I make up just a small percentage of the game, same as you. Actually, the casual players are the majority, so they're going to cater to them. They have to. That's their biggest player base. If they want people paying 15 quid a month for Game Pass, then they need to cater to them. They need to protect them, or else they're going to lose loads of money, and then we won't even have COD. You know what I mean? So
the one thing that sort of like gets me, and like it's interesting to think about, is that what would happen, do you think, if the entire COD community just decided to two box? What do you think lobbies would look like? Because I guarantee top creators who start this train off about two boxing, they'll be the first ones to complain that, well, two boxing's changed, like, why is it different? Well, not everyone can play the worst players in the world.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that's it.
Eventually,
let's just say everyone,
good players.
If everyone just started two boxing, you're back in the same boat. You're literally just back in the same boat of skill-based matchmaking. So you literally, if everyone two boxes, then the lobbies are going to be literally as they were before you were two boxing. So when people say, I'm doing two boxing as a stand against skill-based matchmaking, actually you're a full-on idiot. And I'll say this now, and I'll get flamed for it, but two boxing
probably
is cheating. I don't care what you say. It's cheating. You're fundamentally breaking the matchmaking system to get easier lobbies, it's cheating.
Mm.
And because all these these streamers are posting it, like Joe was just openly two boxing. I don't know if that was a joke or not. I don't know, but everyone seems to think that it was genuine. Like, you've got other streamers like Pamaj who have come out and said that the two boxing. It's like, also as well, it's like, if Activision aren't like punishing these guys, I mean, I guess they're not actually breaking any sort of TOS or anything like that for them not to get punished. But it's like you said, it's like monkey see, monkey do. It's like, how many people have bought extra PlayStations now, or have dug the PS4 out of the garage to make a new account and two box on? Do you know what I mean?
I think the lengths that people are going to in order to kind of get to this point where, and all they're doing is just getting themselves like an easier lobby. I'm sorry, but if you're someone like Pamaj, do you really need to two box if you're that good? Like,
and like I said as well when we were speaking about this before, it's like, Pamaj is such an OG guy, and honestly, I love his videos. But like now, I can't watch a Pamaj video now while thinking, oh, it's this guy in these like bot lobbies that you get from two boxing, like, and making it look easy. And it's easy for him because he's actually playing like people of a low skill. It's just like the credibility of like people's clips is just like, I can't sit and watch Joe War's YouTube videos now and knowing that he two boxes and think like, oh, how good was that? That was sick. It's like, no, you should be doing that. You're playing literal people you're not meant to be playing. I don't want to call them bots because they are real people. Do you know what I mean? Like, these guys aren't meant to be getting Joe in their lobbies. Like, it's just like, but yeah, in the terms of COD, yeah, they're bots, but they're not. They're bots that are meant to be playing over bots, not bots that's meant to be running into Joe in the last circle of a Warzone game. Do you know what I mean? It's really annoying.
It might not necessarily be like cheating, but it's morally wrong.
Just
from a moral standpoint, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And you're right in what you say. I think it's you see so many clips on the internet now, and the first thing that anyone's thinking when they see like an impressive piece of gameplay is this a bot lobby? Is this genuine skill? Like, you just don't know. But the one thing that we can sort of guarantee to anyone watching these videos, these podcasts of ours, is that any video, any clip that we do where we're getting kills is against genuine people within our skill bracket, 100% genuine. It's one reason why, we try so hard to get where we are. But the reality is, and we'll keep on grinding. Obviously, we absolutely love what we do. But the reality is that someone who maybe two boxes will probably get, a slightly faster step up the ladder than us compared to us, because the gameplay looks flashy. They're able to slide. They're able to like stun. They ended up like using them as a meat shield and getting a triple kill and all the rest of it. And it just looks more impressive because they're not playing against people against the same skill. It's not genuine skill that they're demonstrating. They're just shooting people who they should be shooting. If in fact, if they died, then that makes them really, really bad. So
that's it. It's the most annoying thing about it is all these people who are two boxing don't even need to. Like, Joe doesn't need a two box. He's like one of the best Warzone players in the world. At least top 10, top 20 maybe. Like that. Like,
oh yeah,
goes to LAN events and that.
He goes to LAN events. He goes to like World Series of Warzone and things like that. I mean, those players that are on that stage there, and it might be like 100, 150 players or whatever it is. That is literally the top 1%ers. In that one.
It makes me think as well. It's like
they're all insane.
With all the VPNing and stuff that went on during like 2019 on the lead up to sort of this Call of Duty, it's like VPNing probably doesn't even work anymore. There's that many people doing it. That's why two boxing's probably come about. When I think about it, it's like, how the fuck do VPN lobbies work if that many people are doing it?
It's like VPN's kind of like evolved, hasn't it?
Yeah,
to
it's two boxing.
Two boxing sort of replaced now. It seems like the easier way to go about doing it, but more expensive in the sense that you need the additional
console.
Unless you're playing Warzone, you just download Warzone for free, but you'll need like 2 games.
Yeah, additional console, additional game copy if you want in it. Yeah, it just makes zero sense to me. Honestly, I feel like, and again, I've said this to you before. It's like, if I uploaded content that I was two boxing in and it blew up, I would feel good for a little bit while it's blown up, but then I would think, I'd sit there on a night and think like, Christ, I've done this while two boxing. It's like, even like good
cheating.
content.
You feel like you're cheating in some way, like you're cheating for views and cheating for content. I guess like, everyone wants to be like a content creator. Everyone would love to blow up overnight and have millions of followers and sort of feel like their opinion's a little bit more valid because of the following that they've got. But ultimately, we'll be able to look back in years to come against all our content and just feel like more of a sense of pride that everything that we did was genuine and we were honest. And this is us, and we're not trying to cheat anyone or deceive anyone or pull the wool
Yeah.
over anyone's eyes. Like what we do is authentic and it's real, and we're just normal people trying to sort of make our
Yeah,
way.
that's it. Like we're not trying to like oversell ourselves, are we? We're just like, this is
No,
us.
no.
We'll tell you the truth. We won't lie to you. We'll just do our content as we normally do. We're just like normal people playing COD. Like we've both got jobs.
We don't need to. We don't need
Yeah,
to do. We both know how to play the game.
yeah.
We both
That's
hold
it.
our own. We both play ranked. You know, it's not like I would definitely consider us well above average players. You know, so we don't
Yeah.
need to do stuff like that. And if anything, because of skill based matchmaking, I can personally vouch that it's made me a better player, 100%.
Yeah, it does. It's like if you're playing people of your level and maybe above if you've had a few good games, it's going to make you a better player because you have to be better to beat them players you're playing. Where in these lobbies where you're two boxing and stuff, you can get away with these silly mistakes, which will come back to bite you in the ass. Like, probably the reason like Joe and stuff don't do well at as well as I know the version like the top 1%ers,
The
but
top 1%, yeah.
but you're picking up bad habits which you probably don't realize, and then when it comes to the real business, the real time, sometimes you make them mistakes and it can punish you massively. Or you will do what the first on Modern Warfare 2 where you sat in a lorry with a riot shield.
That was a funny clip.
That was it was a good
Aiden
little.
did that as well. He was sat in a room with a riot shield, wasn't he,
Yeah,
at one point?
yeah,
Aiden?
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Just a quick
Yeah.
one as well, just while we're on the concept of like two boxing and like cheating and stuff. I want to
Yeah.
get your little opinion on it. Someone's just popped up on my Twitter there as I've just been sort of playing with my mouse. So Black Ops 6, apparently there's like a pay to win audio bundle. I don't know if you've seen anything about that today.
I caught like a little bit about it. It's
Yeah.
it's to do, isn't it to do with like sound EQ or something like that, where you
So
can pay and
yeah,
it gives you advanced sound settings or something, is
so
it?
it's through a company called I forgot the company name. I'll have to get that up, but it's called like, so there's two types. So there's mission immersion, universal profile. So everyone gets this profile for free. So available to all players for free. Universal Profile is your entry vector to a deeper level of spatial awareness and accurate 3D sound fine-tuned to the unique sound world of Call of Duty. Every explosion and footstep are perfectly balanced so you can hear every detail of the battlefield with precision. Turn on enhanced headphone mode in the sound settings for Black Ops 6 when you're in the game. And obviously you can use earbuds or a headset. And then basically there's another one which is it's $20 for 5 years. So then we have the personal profile. So take your tactical hearing to the next level with a personalized profile with spatial sound customization to your unique what's the word? I can't even say the word.
Physiology.
Physiology, that's the one. Every sound is balanced with precision in the 3D sound world. Create your personal profile in enhanced headphone mode configuration and try for free for 30 days. Then click Get Immerse Game Pack button to unlock 5 years with one-time payment of $19, which would be like, it'll probably just be $19.99 in pounds as well. So it's like, yeah, which is mental. It's like it takes like a scan of your face and your ears and stuff, and how it knows how you hear from that. I don't know, but yeah.
So is that with like an independent company, and has that got any affiliation with
So
like Activision, or is that?
yeah, it does have an affiliation with Activision, but it is through a different company. Pretty sure if I get it up, I can find it. But yeah, it's basically because I know there was third party people doing this, so COD have probably just thought we'll just do it with a company and make the money ourselves. Probably why they've done it.
I think the only thing with that as well is that I don't know how much of a difference that's truly going to make. I mean, it would make sense that it's not going to be that much of a difference because the payments, if it were, then obviously like 19.99 over 5 years, when you really do the math, is nothing at all.
Pennies,
You
isn't
wouldn't
it?
expect, you wouldn't really wouldn't expect like too much of a difference. And the other thing that you've got to consider as well is that if the vast majority of the player base don't do this, then there would already be at a distinct disadvantage if it was that much of a difference. And I just don't think they would risk doing that to lose players thinking, well, of course I lost. Someone else is paying for additional sound, you know.
I think personally what I would do is if I was interested in buying this, which to be honest, I am a bit intrigued, what I'd probably do is I'd probably use the universal profile for a week. And then I would do the 30-day trial on the other one for a week and just see how much difference it is. And then if it's nothing, I would just cancel it and I wouldn't even pay for it. surely you get a 30-day trial because you're not paying for it like a tester. So I would probably do that if I was going to do it and see the difference. Because if there's really not much difference, then what's the point in paying 20 quid?
Yeah, I just think that like I think if you're ever going to do it, I think it would be more useful to do stuff like that on like for ranked because like ultimately like doing it if you're going to buy that for like just normal casual pubs
Yeah,
or zombies or just normal Warzone, like I just don't see where the benefit would be exactly in that. I think
yeah,
if the ranked for search and destroy, for example, that would be probably a bit of a game changer
yeah,
if you grind in ranks, that would probably put you at a bit of a disadvantage versus someone else who's maybe not paying for that. And that's where the argument would come into play, I think. Unless
yeah,
there was a way to kind of, if it is working in conjunction with Activision, if there's a way to sort of filter the matchmaking so it compensates for that, so it'll only put you up against people who are also paying for it,
yeah.
then that would make more sense. But I just don't know if matchmaking is going to be um, that
I,
intuitive, that accurate,
no,
where it's going to be able to distinguish between
I
the
don't
two.
think so. I don't think so. I feel like I don't know how much of a difference it's really going to make. Like, if you buy it for $20, 20 quid, is it going to make much of a difference, really? Like,
And that's the other thing as well, because if it doesn't make that much of a difference, then why do it?
yeah.
If it's just a way to like cash grab, well, yeah, they're a business, okay, that kind of makes
Yeah.
sense. But I
Well,
just think,
I think that's the main reason they've done it. I think it's because third party companies would sell these audio packs. So what they're just doing is that, right, we'll just make our own and then people can buy it through us instead of going through a third party. It would also stop if Ricochet ever changed anything to detect third party audio packs. Might get you banned, but this way it's not going to because you've bought it through Call of Duty. Way to get banned from it because they give you it. They've
I
give
mean,
you the thing to buy it.
I'm not PC anyway. I don't know if it would work on console, but it's not something I would ever buy because like I say, it's just I, it's my own mindset. Like I just play the game that's in front of me. I don't see
Yeah,
the sense in moaning about it. If I was really going to moan about it, I just wouldn't buy the game. It's that simple.
yeah.
Like I just want to play the game the way it was designed and just put that in front of me and I'll play it. It
Oh,
doesn't
that's
matter
it.
if
That's
there's
it.
some things that work for me, some things that don't work for me. I'll use it as a way to get better. I'm not going to buy these additional things to give me a very, very, very small advantage because ultimately my skill will get me the kill. Do you know what I mean? Like sound, yeah, okay, it gives you a bit of an advantage, but ultimately you still have to get the kill. Like, and I have to
Yeah,
be skillful enough to do that.
that's it.
So, like, you can hear someone coming around the corner, but if they use omni movement on you and your movement's terrible, like sound isn't going to save you. You're still going to die.
No, that's it. Yeah, if you're not good at the game, and sound's not going to do anything to you, is it?
No, no, it's definitely not something I'm going to think about buying at all. It's not for me that. But like, fair play to anyone who wants to buy it. I think if you need
Yeah,
it,
that's it,
then
isn't it? If
yeah,
people want to spend
whatever.
$20, people spend $20. That's their money. They do what they want on it. Whether it's going to
Interesting
make
to
a
see how well
difference,
that works if you've got like a terrible mic. How that would alter your experience. You probably would have to have like a premium mic to see the full benefit, I would imagine. Otherwise, what's the point?
literally, mate. I think that all these people like, and this isn't a diss. Don't think this is, but you just sat there with like a £30 Turtle Beach. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference to you. Where if
I
you've
don't
got
think
like
so.
a quite an expensive headset, then maybe. But honestly, I probably
Mm,
wouldn't be too fussed on it if you've not got like the greatest headset. But because
yeah.
some people don't need £200, £200 headsets if they're not on the game all the time. Why would you spend that much if you're not on the game all the time? Makes sense.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll get on to the next point anyway because we've got the list here. Cheating in the future of Ricochet. So there's been a lot of talk about Ricochet, hasn't there, in the last week and a half or so. Obviously, it is mostly getting flamed because cheating is rife within COD right now, isn't it? So, what's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I don't know. I think Ricochet just needs binning, doesn't it? Let's be honest. We need to go back to basics of that. I think after Ricochet went through a huge purge of people's accounts and banned a lot of people, which may or may not have been cheating. From the sounds of it, a lot of them weren't. Like just to name a few, like you had Bobby Poff, you had
Yeah,
Parasite even as well. There
yeah,
was a few other big names that had their accounts banned. Likewise, on the flip side to that, you also had a lot of accounts that were perma-banned before unbanned. So Bad Boy Beeman had an account which he admits was fully tuned, deserved to be banned, but that was then unbanned. It's Happer
yeah,
also had another account, which was, he admits again, rightly so, should have been perma-banned. That was unbanned as well. So at this point, I don't really feel like Ricochet is in a good enough place for us to sort of like have a lot of faith in it. And I just feel
Yeah.
like universally,
Yeah.
there shouldn't be anyone that disagrees with the fact that Ricochet needs to go and need something else.
Yeah, they come out with the tweet saying that they're making massive improvements to Ricochet, and it's like, you can say that, but you've already said that before, and it's like, I think it might have been Joe saying something about using something similar to what Valorant uses. I think it's called Vanguard.
Yeah,
Call of Duty sort of argument that is, it is a bit of an invasive software. I've obviously played Valorant every now and then. I've got it on my PC, and like it's open all the time. It's on your PC. It's scanning your files, but it's a it's like an established thing. I don't think it's there to like hack you, or as it would have already happened. There's people who've played Valorant for absolute years and never been hacked, and you need Vanguard on your PC to play Valorant, or it doesn't let you play it. I feel like
at this point, though, I think it's essential. I think we need to go down that route, though. I think if you're worried about your PC being scanned, then you probably got something dodgy on your PC. Let's be honest. I think anyone else who's playing the game legitimately shouldn't really mind.
And let's be truthful here as well. It's like there's a few reasons why cheating became rife within Call of Duty and Warzone. One, crossplay, and I'm saying this I'm PC this year playing it. Crossplay is the issue. Warzone being free to play, massive issue. I get it why it's free to play, but like I said to you, if Warzone's behind a paywall like Blackout was, like how good was Blackout? Like honestly,
I loved it.
yeah,
You know, I'm a massive fan of that.
literally, and like you definitely played it more than me, but I was still a massive fan of it as well. And I think like,
Yeah.
well, one, obviously there wasn't no crossplay, but two, if you put Warzone behind like a £70 game, which majority of people buy anyway because people use the game to level up the guns to play in Warzone. I think that kills a massive amount of hackers. Because like, why would you want to spend £70 to £100 to not be able to play the game anymore because you decide you want to hack? If anything, more fool on you for doing that. Really.
Yeah, it probably solves your two boxing issue as well, because then it will force people to not only have like a second console, but it also forces them to buy like a second copy of the game as well.
Yeah.
So
literally.
It probably solves that problem too.
Yeah. I think Warzone behind a paywall. It's not really behind a paywall. It's more of an extension of the game. It's like zombies. You don't just get zombies for free. You have to buy the game to play zombies. I just feel like that's the only way forward for Warzone at this point. And I think you can see that with the amount of focus getting put into Warzone. I know we mentioned this in the last podcast, but Warzone, it's pretty dire to be a Warzone fan right now. You're going to get one Resurgence map in some point in November, and then that's it until spring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you just need to... I think Warzone behind a paywall would fix it massively.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, whenever we've talked about Blackout, a lot of the popular sort of comments that we end up getting is, Blackout was terrible. You had to pay $60 for it, £60 for it, whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, but then if you contrast that with the experience that I had on it, I mean, this is coming from someone that had over 300 wins. KD was like 1.9 on it. I very, very rarely encountered anyone, if anyone at all, cheating.
Yeah.
Not one. My experience was very, very clean, very fun. And there's a lot to be said about putting it behind a paywall for that reason, because people aren't going to spend double the money to get a second copy of the game so that they can just cheat. They've got a reason to cheat. They've got a way to cheat.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with that statement that you said there anymore.
Yeah.
I 100% think that moving forward, it needs to be behind a paywall.
Yeah, and I think Treyarch know that, and obviously it's not really up to Treyarch fully. So I think that they've not put on as much focus into Warzone and are more focusing on the zombies and multiplayer side of it, which is it's completely fair. Like, let's be truthful, Warzone isn't Treyarch's, Warzone isn't Infinity Ward, it's Activision's, and they just put their content into it and they'll put a map in it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's for me it has to be back to how Blackout was for it to sort of be fixed at this point. I think as Warzone is past the point of saving now. I think like you've already got people trying to promote cheats and promote Cronus Zen scripts and stuff already for Black Ops 6. The game's not even out yet. The game's literally not even out yet, and people are already like, I've got my Cronus Zen ready. Maybe they're trolling, but honestly, this day and age, there's probably is websites selling cheats out there. right now, and I do get Activision's way of thinking that will attack the cheating websites. It's like they're just capitalizing on a community that wants to cheat.
I get that kind of like in 2024, like it seems that the popular thing these days, the fashion or the fad is to kind of put a comment out there just for purely like impression farming sort of reasons, and I get that sort of landscape's like changed a hell of a lot. But like I say, you can compare it to any Call of Duty in the past when we knew that new COD was on the horizon. We didn't get any of this, none of this. No one sort of like talking about cheating. No, you know, we didn't get any of these troll-like comments. People talking about Chrono Sends. That wasn't a thing of the past. You know, that wasn't a thing at all. And I just think that it's. I purely put the blame down to like two things. This generation of people playing COD these days. And again, I know makes me sound really old, but I played Call of Duty for like 17 years. I'm entitled to say it.
Yeah.
And the second reason, and probably the most important reason, is what you said earlier on, is crossplay. Crossplay has killed Call of Duty 100%. Yeah. And I don't mean killed in the sense that the franchise is dying. I mean in terms of like how like dead the community is right now. Yeah. It's so divided, and I just don't feel like we really had this in the past before crossplay was a thing. Like Call of Duty's been chalk since 2019 onwards. And I think Black Ops 6 is going to get us somewhere close to the feeling that we had before, which is really, really good. And it's been long overdue. But I worry about the future and where we're going to be going, especially if we don't do something about crossplay, or at least just give people the option to turn it off. Because I know Xbox players can't do that. They have to pay with PC. Yeah. PlayStation, granted, they can. But yeah, like, I just think that, like, you know, the landscape is completely different now. It's just you don't really know what's real on the internet these days. People are just trolling for impressions, and I think it's a weird place to be at the moment. I think we just stay in our lane, though. We get the job done. We just do what we do. We play the game that's in front of us, and
I probably played multiplayer on PC as soon as it went on to Game Pass, because obviously I didn't feel like buying Modern Warfare 3 again just to play multiplayer on my PC. So obviously when it came out on Game Pass, which I already have anyway, I sort of downloaded and played. And it's like, truthfully, didn't really run into that many hackers. Granted, I wasn't looking for them, and I don't really watch kill cams if I'm killed. I'm normally just skipping it to get right back into the action. But no one really like stood out. I feel like a lot of people, like, if you're paying like $15.99 a month or whatever, paying $70 to $100 for a game, majority of people aren't going to risk getting banned over it. Where a free account, which you can just create a brand new email for free, also, it's just like, going to do that, aren't they? It's easy pickings. Use an unlock tool to unlock all the guns, and then they just jump straight in and just killing people. Stupid.
So, just pause it there.
Yeah.
Wonder where we go from there now. How long are we on at the moment? What's the recording
on? On 50 minutes. Well, I'll probably take away about 5 minutes from where we're going to cut. Be on about like 45 minutes.
We could do like a final thought on it, because that's like the last point anyway. I think by the time we do a final thought, it'll probably tip us somewhere close to
about the same amount as time as last time, won't it?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I'm going to go and grab this dog because.
All right, okay, no worries.
Yeah, we could just do final thoughts if you want, like final thoughts.
Yeah.
Do like final thoughts going into like Black Ops 6 or something if you want as well. It's probably gonna be like the last podcast we do before we're playing it, isn't it?
Yeah, because you just do that as like two things, like final thoughts on the whole cheating problem and final thoughts going to Black Ops 6. Should we do like cheating first and then go back to Black Ops?
Yeah, I think end it on like a lighter note, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, ready when you are then.
Okay. So, I guess just to kind of like, obviously we've talked a hell of a lot there about like sort of like SBMM, like toolbox and stuff like. So as like a final thought, a way to kind of sum up your feeling on the entire thing, like, you know, bird's eye view look, like what are your final thoughts on the whole situation? Where do you think we are right now?
I think we are in a bit of a bad place. Like, you've got streamers openly doing all this other stuff and all this crazy nonsense with two boxing and stuff. I just feel like we sort of need a full reset, don't we? Like,
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah.
sort of forget the last sort of 5 years, and let's just start fresh and just like go from there. Honestly, I think.
Yeah, so like my final thoughts, I just completely agree with what you're saying there. I think we do need that full reset. I hope that people start to open their eyes a little bit more to genuine gameplay, like ours or like anyone else who's truly grinding, playing the game that's in front of them. I think it's a shame how it's gotten to this point. I do think the game's been sort of chalked since 2019 onwards. But I'm hopeful that Black Ops 6 marks the start of maybe a new golden era, sort of similar to what we had back in the day. You know, there's a lot of hype around this game at the moment. I'm really focused on this. I think if people are going to cheat, you know what, fill your boots, do it.
Yeah.
You're only cheating yourself, and you know, don't pretend like you're good at the game if you need to do that sort of stuff. Because I'm telling you now, you're not. You
No.
really aren't. It doesn't matter what you're doing it for. It doesn't matter if you're doing it because you're trying to make your content look flashy or you're doing it for an income or whatever. I don't care. Like, we can do that and just do genuine gameplay. You don't need to cheat. And yeah, I think it's a shame. I think it's a shame. I think the justification for doing it is weird. We never did it before. We don't need to do it now.
No.
And I think it's just genuine greed and just laziness. The reason why people won't play the way the game wants it to be played. Like, that's my only thing on it.
Yeah. So just to sort of spin off onto a last little final thought on Black Ops 6 there, just what you were saying about you feel like this game could bring us back to the old times. I think with the massive focus on multiplayer, the sort of putting Warzone on the back burner, I think we definitely are in the chance of getting those times back. Obviously, we can't physically get the time back, but we can get the nostalgic feeling of, God, this is just how COD's meant to be. Like, just multiplayer, having fun, jump on zombies, get the highest rounds, do the Easter eggs, stuff like that. I feel like we really can sort of get back to that point, especially with this COD focusing solely on basically just Black Ops 6 and nothing else. What are your final thoughts leading on to Black Ops 6 at the end of this week?
Yeah, you know yourself, like, we've been on the Gamers Edge, we've been absolutely glued to Twitter lately. Just when they release those prestige badges, you know, every single one of them is kind of like a throwback to an older style Call of Duty, and it's like a trip down memory lane. Every single article that they put out on the weeks leading up to the release of Black Ops 6, it's just like you thought, yes, we're getting something OG here. We're getting it. This is what we want. This is what we've always wanted. You know, it's finally happening, and yeah, it generally does feel like I'm a kid again. Sort of, you know, really excited. I think I put a tweet out before saying, you know, this generally does feel like it's the most exciting time for Call of Duty, you know, in the last good few years now. We've never really felt like this now, and I just feel like everyone's riding high. Everyone's super excited. And we're going to have a blast. Absolutely going to have a blast. I can't wait. Roll on tomorrow.
Literally roll on. So that's it for today's episode, guys. If you're liking what you see, I'm going to drop all the socials down in the description. You can jump on them, show some love. That'll mean more to us too than you even know. Lee, have you got anything else to say?
No, just thanks again, everyone, for taking the time to view this podcast. It really does mean a lot to us. There's going to be a hell of a lot of content coming. We say this all the time. You know, if you want some real content, you want real people with genuine opinions, this is the place to be. You need to start following us and join the conversation.
Join the conversation. I'll drop our personal socials in the link as well, so you can see all our Black Ops 6 content, whether it's live streams, just TikToks, YouTube Shorts, anything like that. So yeah, again, thanks so much for tuning in today, and see you all on Black Ops 6.